Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Luna and welcome to Luna's bookshelf. In today's video we're going to go through my physical TBR, so I'm going to show you all the books I have on my physical TBR that I haven't read yet. I saw a lot of other creators do that and I was like, this is kind of a fun idea to do, so that's what we're going to do today. So I would say that we're just going to get into it as fast as we can because we have quite a lot of books on the physical TBR I need to show you guys. So the game plan is I'm just going to show you, it's not going to be in a specific order. I'm just going to go through it. I have this all up on my TBR card because that was just easiest. I'm not going to talk about every book a long time. I'm just going to quickly say if I really want to read it or not, and we're just going to see what I'll talk about it. So I would say let's get started. The first book I want to talk about are some classics because I do have some classics in my possession that I haven't read yet. The first book I have as a classic is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the first classic I bought. I bought it just online and it's a really long time ago I bought it, but I just really want to read it because it's such a classic. I love reading, but I'm kind of intimidated by it because it is a classic. So you know what, we'll see, maybe I will get to it eventually. Then the next classic I have is also by Jane Austen, and that is Sense and Sensibility. I bought this at a book fair in Ghent, but I also haven't read yet, but it's also on my TBR. And then the other two are also from the same author, but not Jane Austen, but I bought these two in Italy, I think 2 years ago already. And that is first of 1984 by George Orwell. It's quite a small book, especially if you compare it to this. But yeah, and I also have Animal Farm by George Orwell. I think I just should go with one of these two because those are not like really thick ones, especially Animal Farm, but still intimidated by it because they are classics. But you know what, maybe I will get through them this year, but we'll see. It is one of my goals to read a classic this year. I haven't read it yet, but you know what, it is November, there's still some time. Okay, then if I'm looking at my book card here, I'm just going to go from the bottom and then to the top. So first off, I've got three non-fiction books I haven't read yet, and the first one is Kleine Helden by Redesign. This is a Dutch book by a Dutch war journalist. Redesign, if you're from Belgium, you may have heard of him. I got this book in a book deal when I was still in high school, and now I'm studying journalism. Fun fact, I'm studying journalism. I thought it would be fun to read it, but I just haven't gotten into it. So maybe sometime. Then the other book I have is a book I was gifted. I did start this and annotated a little bit in it, but just never got further in. And it is Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. And then another book that I got this year is a book I saw online and then I just bought it because I really liked the cover, and that is Me vs. Brain by Haley Morris. This is like also a non-fiction book. I did start this but just never got started, but I really want to read this. So yeah, there are the three non-fiction books I haven't read yet. So now I'm just going to go random because my books aren't organized by genre, but I will try to say which genre the books are if I know. So that was a book I haven't read yet. The first book is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is a recent book I bought. I bought it also this year. I saw this book all over YouTube and over TikTok because it is kind of a well-known book. Still haven't read it yet. It is on my TBR for the year. Still to read it. I hope I will get to it because I am interested in it because it's like a podcast with a podcast in it. So yeah, I am excited. Then the next book is Betting on You by Len Painter. This is the only Len Painter book I haven't read yet that isn't also better than the movies. This is also a YA romance, I think. I just love Len Painter writing and I really want to read it because it is Len Painter and it is a YA romance, I think. So it just has to be good, you know? And then another book I have is Red Riding by Pierce Brown. This is a sci-fi book. I saw Haley Pham talking about it, and that is a reason. She's the reason I bought this book, because she hyped it up so much, and I'm so interested to read it. And some of my friends also read it and say also a lot of good things about it. So I'm really hoping to get to it. I thought maybe this year, but maybe next year. Then sometimes it's a little bit stuck in here, so I'm not going to take it out, but I have the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So I did read the first two books, Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm, but I still have to read Ruin and Rising. The thing is, I don't really remember a lot of the first two books, but I really want to read the third so I can read like Six of Crows. But we'll see if I get to it. I do have it already a very long time, but you know what? It's never too late. Then these two books, I bought these just for the cover because I thought they were looking cute. And the first one is the Wisteria Society of Ladies Countries by India Halton. I just really love the cover. It's so cute. I also read in it, but I got to page 14, but never stopped and continued. And then it's like 3 books, and then then you have another book, and then there's a League of Gentlewoman Witches. Come on, look at these covers. They're just so cute. I just couldn't. Hopefully I will get to read these, because otherwise it would have been a waste of money, but you know what, let's hope it wasn't. Then the next 2 books are 2 books I bought at a book sale from my local library, and that are the first 4 books actually of the Vampire Diaries. First off, The Awakening and The Struggle, and then The Fury and The Reunion, both by L.J. Smith. I just bought these because I love the Vampire Diaries. I don't know if I will read them one day. Maybe I will, because I do love the Vampire Diaries. It's one of my favorite series, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see if I get to read them one day. Okay, then we're going next. So the next book is also a book I bought at the same book sale, I think. Or no, not at the same year, but also at the same book sale. And that is Bridget Jones' A Myth About the Boy by Helen Fielding. This is translated. I really want to read it because it is a Dutch book, and I really want to read more books that are in my own language. So maybe I will get to read this year too. So yeah. Then I'm going to talk about some books that are on my TBR for November. And the first off, we have The Ren Kingdom by Tara Maffei. I did start this a long time ago, but still haven't read it yet. And I also have the sequel, and that is These Infinite Threads. The only thing is that I hate, they don't match. You see, this one is a little bit higher than this one. Why do they do that? Why? And by the same author, I also have Shereme. I bought this because when I bought it, there was a really big hype on YouTube and especially on BookTok, but I just haven't read it yet. But I really want to. But I can't watch a lot of books. If you see in the back, that's a lot. But you know what? We'll see. We're going to try to get to it. Then I have this book, and that is Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I did start reading this, but I also DNF'd it because I just wasn't not feeling it. I don't know if it just wasn't the time for me or it just isn't my book. We'll see if I pick it up and if I don't pick it up in the next couple of years, I will probably donate it or something. Then also another book on my November TBR is Love Redesign by Lauren Asher. I just bought this book purely by the cover because it's so pretty. It's purple, it's shiny, just love it. This is the first book in the Lake France Billionaires. There's also a second book, but I don't have it yet because I will want to read this book first, but I really want to read it this month. Then, the big book, A Little Life by Hanya Yeah, I'm not going to try it. I'm sorry. I don't want to pronounce it fault. So, this bad boy, I did started it also like 3 years ago, I think, but just never got into it. I'm just very scared to read this book. I really want to try, but I'm scared, so yeah. I hope I will definitely read it one day, but you know what? We'll just see. We'll just have to see. Then the next book is Good Girl Complex by Al Kennedy. Then we have the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I just thought that sounded funny, and also the back sounded pretty interesting. So maybe I will read it this year. I don't know. Then I have Ruth Jones as Tree. This is like a literary fiction book, I think, because it's about friends. It's told in 3 different perspectives by the 3 friends. So I think it would be good because it kind of reminds me, not exactly by Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, but if I did like that, I would think I would maybe like this too. Then we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle 7. I bought this because I heard a lot of people talk about it. It's one of my books I want to read in 2024. Still have the contents to do it, but you know what? The year isn't over yet, so there's still time. Then the next book, I also started this book last summer, but I was like, this is not really summer vibes. Absolutely not. And that is If You Were Villains by Amal Rio. But I did like, you know what the thing is? I did like it, but it was a little bit too dark for reading it in the summertime, so I stopped DNF'ed it, but because I really do want to continue reading it. I also got to page 122. I just think I should just pick it up one day. So I will have to restart it because I don't remember a lot of it. Then this book I bought at a second-hand bookstore and it just intrigued me. It says it is The Queen of Petra by Penrose Gwyn. Don't know much about it, but it said on the back that it reminds them of How to Kill a Mockingbird, I think. Never read that book, but it is a good book, I heard, so really interested to read this one day. Then we have The Golden Rule by Amanda Gregg. This book I bought because it reminded me of a series I was watching at the time, so I haven't read it. Then one of also a pretty popular book when book talk became a thing, and that is A Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I did start this. I got to page 64, but DNF'ed it. I think I want to give it another chance. I also marked some things. Not much though, I know, a little bit. But you know what, I want to give it another chance because it is not that quite of a thick book. So, you know what, maybe I just have to go with it again, you know? Then I have The Switch by Beth O'Leary. You know what, I see a lot of books by Beth O'Leary online, but I've never saw this book before and I wonder why. Is it because people don't like this book? Or is it just not that well known? So yeah, I think this is also like more of a literary fiction, but also a romance. So yeah. Then I have iiss Sarah Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I bought this book purely because it's Casey McQuiston. I really loved Red, White and Royal Blue at the time. So I haven't read it yet. Heard also some mixed reviews about this book. So I'm a little bit scared. Then we're going to the top shelf. We're going through it, guys. So the next book is a sequel to, I think, or it's a prequel. I don't know. But it is Family of Liars by E.L. Lockhart. So this comes before or after We Were Liars. Really love We Were Liars. This is really a book talk book, but I really enjoyed reading it. So I bought this book. Logical. Then this book I bought also at the book fair. And I really love the cover. It is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. It's about mermaids. It's a fantasy. It's a young adult fantasy. Sounds good, you know? Then I have also another pretty popular book tag book, and it is Twisted Love by Anna Wong. Also haven't read it yet. I really want to. I really want there. You know what the thing is? These are series, and I'm just like, if I read a series, I just have to read the other books and buy the other books. So I'm a little bit more hesitant when starting series, because if I like them, I will need to read the other books. You know what I mean? And I will have to buy them. So it's a little bit of a struggle. Then the next two books are books by the same author. I haven't read neither of them, but I was just somehow, when I bought the second book, you know what? Is this author? It should be good, even though I haven't read the first book yet. I have of her. But you know what? I still have it. So the first book I bought of this author is Hemet by Maggie O'Farrell. I bought this book because Jack Edwards talked about this and really talked about how he loved this book and he loved the writing. So I was like really intrigued. I also started this, but I think that I don't really remember because I got to page 4. But it is like a retelling of Hamlet, of Shakespeare. Don't know much about it, if I'm being honest. But really want to read it. And I also, this summer, got by the same author, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. Also, because it is Maggie O'Farrell and I heard a lot of good things about it. She's also the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlisted on 2023, and this was for 2020, so you know, she's good. Also pretty intrigued to read this. This is also like based on, not real story, but there are some facts in it, you know? But I really want to try these because I did hear a lot of great things about this author. Then I have Taylor Jenkins Reid, Carrie Soto is Back. Really love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read Malibu Rising by her and also Daisy Jones and the Six. And I just really want to read this book. Also the cover is so stunning, it's so cool. And she's also releasing a new book, I think next year, not this year. But yeah, still on the TBR. Then another book I started one day, but DNF'ed. And that is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I got, to page 40, chapter 6. I know, you know what the thing is? I heard a lot of great things about it because it also has a really high rating on Goodreads and a lot of people love this book. But I was just a little bit struggling while reading because of the writing style. But I am intrigued by it because going into it, I didn't know what it was about, but when I heard some of the people talk about it, I was like, this is kind of interesting. So I really want to pick it up, but I'm also hesitant in picking it up because I did DNF it once. You know, it's a little bit, it's difficult. Then I have another 2 books by the same author. I haven't read a book by, but I still got them. So the first book I bought by her is The Vanishing Hell by Brit Bennett. Also, more of the literary fiction books I have, I mostly buy them because of Jack Edwards, because that is more of his genre. And this is also Women's Prize for Fiction in 2021. So I have 2021, 2020, and 2023. So I still miss 2023. No, 2024. And 2022. Yeah, 2022 I miss, and 2024. So yeah, heard also really great things about this book, but haven't read it. And I also bought this year The Mothers by the same author. I bought it at the book fair. Haven't read it yet, but I am interested in reading it, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. Okay, then there are only 2 more books, I think. We're going to turn my thing around in a bit. So then we have Defining the Lights by Chloe Gong. I bought this because I heard some great things about it. It's like a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but in Shanghai. So it really sounds interesting. I did start it once, but it wasn't just not the vibe at the time, you know. So I did DNF it, but I really want to try and pick it up again. And then the last book. I think it's the last book. I'm not sure. I'm going to in a bit turn around my thing, but I do think it's the last book. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I still haven't read it. I know. I'm sorry. I have read Throne of Glass, but I still haven't read this. But I will. I will read this soon. I promise. I'll try. Maybe I should do this in a reading vlog. Maybe that would be fun to do. But yeah. I really want to read it though, but it's just like, it's a series, and I'm always intimidated by series, especially fantasy series. Sorry, there's something in the book, but okay, never mind, I don't find it anymore. So yeah, I'm going to turn it around, but I think that are all the books. There are some books in here, like more Dutch books I bought, but I'm not really interested in reading them anymore. So I'm not going to talk about them either. But yeah, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to count all the books. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm going to do it. So I'll be back with you in a bit. Okay, so I just counted all the books on my physical TBR. I did expect it to be more, but I'm still, because I'm currently on a book buying ban, and I'm really trying to read more of the books I already own. So I think that is also the reason why I'm shrinking my physical TBR, and I'm pretty proud of myself. So I currently have 45 books on my physical TBR, and I think I came from like 50, 60, a little bit more I think. So I'm kind of proud of myself. It's still a lot, and I'm very much aware of that. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of books I haven't read that I already own. But you know what? There's progress in it. So that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know how many books you have on your physical TBR and what your most anticipated read of your physical TBR is. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!